Now, here's a little story about Berserk. Berserk is my favorite manga of all time. I kind of refrained from talking about it for so long just because of the idea of, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't prepared to talk about it, slash, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to share more of me with you guys, and I don't know if many of you know about Berserk, or maybe I've heard about it, but never really maybe got attuned with it, maybe because you've heard it was too dark, it was too effed up, specifically the Golden Age arc. But I'm here to tell you and talk to you about the most important thing about Berserk and why it is, to me, a masterpiece. Even though Miura can give Hunter x Hunter and Togashi a run for their money for going on hiatuses, but roasting aside, Berserk is a masterpiece. Unequivocally, it is my favorite manga and the best manga of all time. Art is subjective, so if you have your own favorite manga of all time, that can be the best manga of all time too. But this is my favorite manga of all time, so to me, this is the best manga of all time. You know, love you guys. Anywho, Berserk is my favorite of all time, then followed by JoJo, then probably One Piece, and so forth, right? But what makes Berserk perfect for me is Guts, the main character. And what makes him so compelling as a character isn't because he slashes around a massive, like, 10-foot sword that looks like a hunk of iron, too big to be a sword and too rough, right? Usually what the saying goes, or, you know, somewhat like that. It is a sheer fact that he is the best written human character that I have read in manga, period. Most characters, sure, they have struggles and this and that. Like most shonen protagonists have like struggles and like want to do one thing or get from point A to point B. But the thing that's so compelling about Guts is that he's human. Everything he does, it changes and it shifts throughout the story because it doesn't stay the same, because things happen to the character that makes him change and develop. He starts off the story very cynical, very dark, very depressing, very evil in a sense, very anti-hero, kills a whole bunch of demons and has a smile while doing it. It looks like a monster. But then you have these quiet moments where Guts is by himself, or he meets a child that gives him kindness. And you have these moments where he just broke down a layer of his sheer ferocity. Because what fuels Guts' journey in the beginning is anger. Then we cut back to the Golden Age and we learn everything about Guts, what happened to him as a kid, how he was born, how he got the name Guts, his bonds with Griffith, Casca, Pippin, everyone, Judo, Ricket, everyone. And then you learn what happens to them, the eclipse, everything. And then that's what ultimately leads Guts onto the journey of the Black Swordsman arc and how he got to that point and why he acts the way he does, and it all makes sense. But again, Berserk's job is more about character development and character journey rather than pure just Guts wants to kill Griffith and then that's it. Because we all know Griffith. Most people, even if you don't know Berserk, you have at least heard about Griffith and like that. He's probably one of the worst or people of all time, considering what he did. It's not just about him going to go kill Griffith. It definitely feels like that at the beginning, but don't let the beginning Black Swordsman arc fool you. A lot of people don't take that arc seriously, or don't. I don't know. For some reason, I see a lot of discourse about whether or not that arc is good or bad, and whether what it does. When in reality, its main important factor of it is being useless. The whole arc, whether you get great character moments with Guts and the female character from the Lost Children arc, because she's basically a representation of him. But the best thing about the Black Swordsman arc is how utterly pointless that arc was, because once he comes back and he figures out Casca is gone, which again, light spoilers, not really gonna go deep into everything. When he realizes Casca isn't where he left her for 2 years, he realizes and that his journey overall when he left her was pretty much pointless. He went on a giant rampage of hatred with anger fueling it for no reason. He came back and the one thing that he loves and cared about is now gone and he has to go look for her. So then you have these character moments and character development for him fighting his own beast of darkness and his own carnal desires and everything. And he struggles. That's the key thing. Sure, his fights with apostles and other demons are amazing and eye-catching, and like the scenery is just beautiful. But what makes him different is that each of these, what makes him different is that each of these fights, no matter what happens, Guts never gets off scot-free. Because these demons and apostles, apostle is, if you don't know, is the higher tier like demon, like the one in charge, the ones that can take a human form and shapeshift pretty much. These demons are heavy, strong, very strong, and they range from all different types. And Guts has to adapt to either fighting a fairy-like demon that moves at like super speed, like the Lost Children arc, to maybe one that can continuously regenerate his limbs in the Count arc in the beginning, or just a literally fighting an apostle dragon. So at the end of each fight, though, he leaves the fight maybe victorious, but guess what? He probably has lost a sheer, like, insane amount of blood, has scars after, has to recover. And the thing is, usually he fights, it's at nighttime, so even when he's done fighting, the brand attracts more demons after him. So he has to continue to fight until morning, which then he can probably rest, maybe. So Guts as a character is a character of struggle and just a character of just overall a massive amount of weight that makes Berserk truly shine to me above every other manga that I've read. I love Toriko as well. Toriko is like number 4 or 3 around there. But Berserk, the character work that Miura does, even if he's in hiatus half the time, the character that he has given Guts and this world and Griffith, because even as much as an asshole as Griffith is, if you read the manga, which is why I'm recommending it to you guys, as much as an asshole Griffith is in the story, his own convictions and beliefs, whether the way he does it or not is right, he is still a fascinating character to watch and like interact with. As much as you hate him, but in the context of the story, his character makes sense. And the irony of the light, the Hawk of Light and everything, and Hawk of Darkness, it's such a fascinating story to like get yourself entwined with, because dark and light, nothing is ever black and white in this story. And even though Miura uses lots of black, like this single picture right here, look at all the blacks and shadows, and like the light for like Pucklet laying down there on the branch. Berserk is a masterpiece. The action is insane. It is crazy. Guts literally took a girl that was ramming her like horn at like super speed in the air through the cheek, bit down on it, and blasted her to get the upper advantage. Guts will do anything to win. Guts is human through and through, and that's what makes him my favorite character of all time, and Berserk my favorite manga of all time. So I highly recommend it. Obviously, this goes without being like not over pretentious, but the story is really dark and really like just has a lot of dark themes in it. So if you read it, just be in mind that literally every manga like volume that's ever sold physically, like I even have a manga book, the deluxe edition that you can buy for like $28. It contains all the first 3 volumes of Berserk. Every volume of Berserk on the front has a little explicit little sticker on it that says that it has explicit content. So, but yeah, I also wanted to give kind of a story time and like inform you guys of how imperfect Guts is, because there's literally a moment in the story where Guts, to take the advantage in the Lost Children arc, he literally takes a kid that he just saved. Mind you, he likes kids, he does have a soft spot, and he has much more character depth than he leads on, especially if you get more character in the Golden Age arc. But literally, he takes a kid that was about to, run away after he saved them. He took the kid and he put him on top of his sword, and he used the kid as bait for the little demons that were about to eat him. And he used them as bait to gather them all in one spot. And then pretty much that's where he got rid of the rest of the demons, but saved the kid again. But he literally would do anything it takes to win. And it's just, I mean, again, he's just not a good person either. Like, that's the thing with Guts that I want to stress why he's so perfectly imperfect is because he is not a right and sane character. He is an asshole a lot of the times. Hell, most of the time. He literally kicked an old guy's cane that was like half burnt and whatever. Like he kicked his cane and the guy fell. Again, he used the kid as bait, and he makes fun of a lot of people like for being weak, or you know, he doesn't even help sometimes when he could help. So that's what makes him to me the most perfect character and the perfect main character to follow, because he is not perfect, much like all of us. We're all human, and that's what makes Guts to me the most relatable and best main character of all time to me. And also Berserk the best manga of all time for me, even though I probably die before it fucking finishes because Miura doesn't. Well, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys like this type of video, more recommendations of anime or manga or whatever. And I'll do more of these if you guys like. But yeah, make sure you guys will like, comment, subscribe for you, share the video if you enjoyed. Make sure you guys follow my Instagram, Twitter, my Snapchat down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.